Hey everybody, welcome to the Squeegee podcast. I'm so sorry we had to cut our intro out. I don't know, for some reason I could not upload the new intro, and I'm sad because I had a really cool one for our guest, Jessica Battle, aka Squeegee Chick. How you doing, Jess?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm so glad to have you. We had tried to do this a few months ago, but you were kind of busy and you had a bunch of things going on, and we just couldn't get our schedules right. So I'm glad that finally we were able to make it happen. So how's everything going for you right now?
It's good. It's got a lot of different things, new things going on. So I guess we'll talk about that, right?
Yeah, we'll get to talk a
Work.
little bit about what you got going on. But why don't you fill us in a little bit on your situation? So right now you work for someone, right? You work for a company where you're at?
I do. Yeah, I work for Squeaky Clean Window Cleaning and Pressure Washing they're out of Reese, Michigan now. We're in the thumb of Michigan, as
Ah,
Michiganders do. We live
yes.
right here. That's our thing. So we do like cleaning along the lakeshore areas, especially, and then working towards getting a little bit towards more where they're at. So Frankenmuth area, a lot of people are familiar with Frankenmuth. In Michigan, it's kind of a touristy area. In other cities over there, so lots of lake houses, lots of vacation homes, and
Yeah.
seasonal work for sure.
Very cool. So how did you get into window cleaning?
So I these were friends of mine at first, and at one point, I just said, "Hey," because I all my kids had went to school, and I found myself kind of, what do I do now? Because I'd been a mom and a stay-at-home mom for 9 years. I hadn't done anything work-wise, especially just help
Yeah, yeah.
take care of my family and support my husband and whatnot. So I asked my friends. I said, "Hey, you have a company. If you ever needed somebody to work for you, let me know." And they're like, "Well, what can you do?" I'm like, I mean, I can learn anything." So I'm like, I like to work with my hands, and I know that I can learn anything. So they were like, "Well, let's try it out. Let's see how it goes." It was, I think, October in 2022, and
Mhm.
I'm sometimes I'm surprised they kept me. I was a little bit flustered at times, kind of impatient with myself. You see them using the squeegee, you just think you're gonna pick it up and it's gonna look like it did when they did it. It didn't look like
Right.
it did when they did it. So I end up on the water fed a lot. But I was determined, and I showed up, and I'm there, I'm working, so I'm like, here, reliable, that's the word I'm looking for. I was
Yeah.
reliable, so if nothing else, I'm there and I'm reliable, so we'll get there eventually. And obviously we got there eventually. It's been 4 years
Yeah.
now.
4 years you've been cleaning windows. How
Yes.
long do you feel it took you until you were like, "Okay, I'm a professional. I got this."
I would say, so maybe about 2 years.
Okay.
I would say, like, the first 2 seasons I just kind of felt like I was following everybody.
Mhm.
And then
Mhm.
the last season last year we brought a new worker on, and so he was kind of where I was. So he had to kind of go to the water fed to start somewhere. You got to do
Mhm.
something more of the work that I was kind of doing. So that kind of put me in a place where, okay, I better step up my game. I got to I got to figure this out. I got to be the one in the house. I got to be the one learning to talk to the customers and, like, reliable and that sort. So that kind of responsibility, I think, is what led me to really want to take it even more seriously, I think. And
Got it.
that's when I really started trying new tools. And I think trying new tools made all the difference for me personally. Uh, I didn't, I just used whatever we used. We used Ettore handles. We
Yeah.
used the Contour Pro Plus, the one that articulates like this, and with Sorbo channels in them, and it works for everybody else. But I kind of found trial and error with a lot of different ones and really found my groove better.
So what was the one? So I seen your video. So you use us. You have a Sorbo handle. You've got the
Right.
the Unger 0 degree
Hmm.
that you use for pulling. You use anything else for fanning?
So the first one that really clicked for me was the Ninja handle, the Unger Ninja handle with the Ninja
Okay.
channel. I don't know what it was when I picked that one up and it touched the glass. Like, it just felt smooth and it felt solid and it felt good. So I used that one probably all last year. And then I'd say
Okay.
this season, I just have so many different ones. I just have been just grabbing different ones. So lately, I have the white Sorbo handle. I have a purple Sorbo handle. I have the Sorbo channel. I have the Viper channel in there. I like that Viper with the 45s. Helps with the detailing.
Okay.
And then my
Yeah, yeah.
boss had a the old Unger that you may have seen in my videos, the old
Yeah.
ridged one, and I think that I got Ettore brass in there. I love that one too. So I kind of swap back and forth with those.
So you have an Unger handle with the Ettore brass, huh?
I
You
do.
are
I
just
have
breaking
everything.
all the rules.
Actually, I have everything with Ettore brass. My Unger
Nice.
0 degree, I have an Ettore quick release on the back of it, and Ettore brass in it. My Mormon, I have Ettore brass. Ettore brass is the one. You can't go
Yeah,
wrong with
that's
it.
that's that's my favorite. I know some people like stainless steel,
Yeah, I
and I
tried
get it
it.
because it's lighter, and I need the heavy. I like the heaviness. I feel I feel it better, you know. So yeah, I have Sorbo, and I have
Mhm.
the Unger, the thicker one. What is it called? The I guess it's Ninja, right? Is it the Ninja channel, the thicker channel?
Yeah, the wide
Yeah,
body, that's their Ninja
wide
channel.
body. Yeah.
Mhm.
And I always also have the Ettore super channels, those thicker ones too.
Mm,
I've just collected a bunch of these over the years.
the same.
But I always go back to the brass. I like the thinner channel. I like the control that I have with the Ettore brass. So that's always what I do. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Contract House says brass is class. End
It
of.
is. I actually
Yeah,
just
very cool.
recently picked up the 16-inch from Detroit Sponge. I said I want to compare. I want to see how 16 feels instead of 14. I've always run a 14. I'm liking the
Hmm.
16. I think even more.
Yeah.
It's very efficient because it's
Hmm.
longer. But I got
Yeah.
the stainless and the brass, and like I don't even like the stainless. I feel like you need more pressure because it's not heavy enough.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I see why people would like it, but it just feels kind of weird. So
They do
that's
they do move faster. I mean, honestly, you see the people with it's lighter, so it just
mhm,
glides across the glass. I get that part. I again, and I always say this whenever I teach a class, I'm all about control.
mhm.
Doesn't matter how fast you move. If you don't have control when you're fast, then you're useless. You're going back to get the mistakes that you missed, and you're
Yeah.
just doing more work than you need to. So very cool. Well, you definitely have had an evolution of your cleaning, and I'm so sad. I could not upload any of my videos for some reason. I had set them to upload earlier, about an hour before which is what I usually do, so they're ready for the podcast. And then
Yeah.
we're getting ready to start, and none of them were uploaded, and they're
Yeah.
just not. I had some videos. Maybe I'll put them in the um I'll put one in particular in the comments when we're done. I'll see if I'm able to upload. I'm not sure if I can upload a video, but I have one. So you have a video where you had over 1 million views, right?
I
Remember,
have a few.
you have a
I
few, but you have one
have a few.
pinned, and it's from seven
Yes.
weeks ago.
Okay.
And you were using the Unger, and I don't know, was that about the first time that you're using the Unger Zero? Like, were you just starting to use it,
See, that's why
or had you been using it for a little?
I'm not sure which one you're looking at, and that's why I wish we could see it because I'm like
Yeah,
I
I
don't
know. I wish you could see
remember
it.
which
I'll
one.
definitely show it to you. It's pinned, but
I'm gonna
it
take a
was
look.
yeah, yeah. You're going up on a window, and it's about a rectangle, and you definitely have it down. I mean, you clean the window obviously, but you can
Mhm.
definitely tell there's some stuttering on it. You're kind of catching on the edge, and you're going back
Mhm.
and forth a little too much on it. And then I
Oh,
have one that you just did. Now you remember that one?
I think so. I'm looking at two
This one.
different ones where I have it, so I'm not sure which one it is.
Yeah. So there.
I got I
Yeah.
got
There's.
this one and this one.
Yeah. It is. I think it's
This
that one
one.
right there. Yeah, that
Yeah,
first one.
this was in April, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
We could
let me
watch
see.
it here.
Yeah, there you go. Let me see if this is the one. Yeah, I think
I
this is
do
the
hit
one.
the edge a
You can,
lot on this one. It's so bad.
and actually, both. Yeah, and you go up and down,
I
and then
hit
you
the edge.
just posted one. You just posted one, and
Yeah.
you were like a pro on it. It was a lot wider. It was a bigger window, and what I
Uh-huh.
showed in the video is how it took you the same amount of time to do
Mhm.
that little one than it did to take the big one because you had your efficiency down. You had your
Mm.
control on your pole, and you had your control of the squeegee, and it was just really, really smooth. And I think that one was
Was
a couple days ago
it the one
that you
where
posted.
you only see the pole and it's I have
Yes,
the
you only see the
Mormon.
pole.
I think it's this one.
That's the one. Yep, that's the one. Just check
Yeah,
this
this
out. I mean,
was
you were just it's
yes,
just
yeah, it
such an
was last
efficient pull,
week.
and look how smooth it is. You've got control, and you're going across. and then you just finish up, just boom. I mean, it's just a gorgeous polling technique right there. So
I
I
should
just want to show
yeah.
how you've well, progress that you've made in just a few months.
Yeah.
So tell a little bit about how hard you work at that, because a lot of your videos you're explaining, okay, I'm trying this now. I'm going to do it
Yeah.
at this angle. I'm going to try it this way. So I appreciate that, because I think a
Yeah.
lot of window cleaners get hung up on needing to look every video has to be perfect. Every video has to show that their technique's perfect and their technique's just right. You're not afraid to kind of talk us through what you're doing. Like, hey, I'm going
Mhm.
to try this right now. I struggle with this. Let me see if I can get it this time. And you're kind of talking to us. So tell us a little bit about how that evolved. And I think it strikes a chord with a lot of people, and that's why you get so many views.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think that there's enough perfection out there, right? And I think that's I get a lot of people who comment like, "Oh, how do I do this?" I don't know. A lot of it's just trial and error, but like I feel like showing um what learning looks like is important too. Like what you're not going to pick it up cuz I didn't pick it up and it looked great. So here everybody, is this what it looks like when you pick it up and it doesn't look that great? It's a struggle. So I don't know. I just feel like there's humanity in that, and I feel like
Yeah.
it also shows, I don't know, I am a very down to earth, chill person, and I don't ever
Hmm.
purport to be somebody who's the example in how to do these things. I've
Yeah.
not been doing it that long, and I also feel like hopefully it encourages everybody to share what they're doing, you
Yeah.
know?
And what it brings out is all the people who like you get really upset when someone comments something stupid on your
Yes, they
post.
do.
I just,
That cracks me
I
up.
just some other guy like, oh, it's just that's not rocket science. I don't know why I've been doing it for 20 years. I'm like,
I saw
dude,
your
come on.
comment earlier.
Yeah, I was just like, come on, dude. I was
Thank
like,
you for that.
you must be fun at parties, is what I said. But
Yes.
yeah, it's just some people. It's like they and I get this too once in a while. They make you feel like you're dumb because you're taking this seriously, and I'm like,
Mhm.
yeah, but you took the time to comment on my post, so
Thanks
what
for
does
the
that
engagement,
say?
by the way. That helps me.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't
yeah,
think they
for sure,
realize that.
exactly. Yeah, that's why you get a million views.
I know.
And I think there's also kind of maybe a tendency for male window cleaners to kind of feel a little freer to be critical for a female window cleaner. I know I've talked
Mhm.
with Sarah Vandermeer. She said the same thing, and Sarah's an awesome window cleaner. I mean, she's really good. She's been doing it for over 10 years, and if she ever posts something, which is rare anymore because she's
Mhm.
really running the office now and doing some other things, but whenever she has, there's people commenting. It's just like, come on, window cleaners are window cleaners. You don't need to have to say a comment on every single thing. But anyways, no, I really really appreciate how far you've come. So you have been able to work with different industry or different vendors and different brands. Can you tell us a little
Mhm.
bit about the connections that you've been able to make in your time here in the industry?
Yeah, I guess we have a pretty big one that I don't even think anybody, well, a couple people know, but not very many people know that if you follow Detroit Sponge, I'm now running their social media.
Nice.
Starting tomorrow, but we posted
Wow.
today, but actually they're since thank you. Since I think April, I'd been in chats. Well, we chatted and we got that connection from the IWCA. I'd already
Yeah.
been coming into their store a lot. Like I know all the guys in there, I already did. And I chatted again with them at the IWCA and just talking a little bit more about it. And like, so we started with the idea of just a couple of videos a month to send to them and have their people, because
Hmm.
they weren't they were managing the social media. They've had it open for a really long time, but not a lot of videos, lots of photo posts and things like that. And I'm like, you guys need some videos. So I started making some videos for them. And so you would have already seen a couple of my videos on there, just not known it was me.
Okay.
Talk about
Nice.
it. I send them there, they posted them, and it's fine. But yeah, we just kind of came to the point where it was like, well, what do you feel about like if I were to run it? And so yeah, I'm technically a employee, not employee,
That is
an actual employee, to do
nice.
social media for them. I already got my first
Very
paycheck.
cool.
Pretty great.
Very,
So
very cool. Awesome. I'm so happy for you. It's really, really awesome.
yeah, it's
And
cool
Detroit
because
Sponge,
it's like Go ahead.
No, no, you go ahead. You go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's cool because I guess a lot of people don't know that like I didn't do it. I've never made a video before, only starting a year ago. Like it was March last year I started running the social media for my company I work for, and I was like, I don't know how to make a video, but I'm gonna figure it out. And it's funny because if you were to see the first videos that I made, they were terrible. But
All of us.
learning the
All of
editing
us,
tools and
yes.
stuff, just terrible, terrible
Yeah.
videos. But like as you do it, it got more fun to me.
Yeah.
We got to the end of our season and I was like, well, I want to stop making videos. That's kind of when I opened up my own things, and I don't really know what purpose I had, just to say, I guess I'm I'm commenting on all this stuff in the forums and I'm here and so you see my name, but like I had nothing to back it up. So I kind of was like, you know what, let me start posting videos to back up what I say because I do feel like I have a lot of knowledge about this stuff. But the videos are new, and so the idea that I have gotten to the point where someone would trust me to run their social media is wild to me because I've literally only been making videos for like a year.
Yeah, but you have, I mean, just watching your videos, and there's I'll mention some of the people on our chat right now, just who also just have a real touch for it. Squeegee Rich,
Yep,
um, he always puts out really cool videos.
he does.
Who else in here? Oh, Adam Hogan's in here as well. He also just has a really great touch. Of course,
Mhm.
Cal, he's always got some cool videos and stuff that he's got. I think everybody can bring their own personality to it, but you do
Yeah.
definitely have an artistic view. I love the video, and I'm so sad because I had the video in the intro where you're in the
Yeah.
field and you have the window there and you're wearing a dress and you're just sitting there and you're just fanning. I just
We
think
could
that's
show
such a
that one too.
cool. Yeah, that is such a cool. Yeah, if you have it, put it up
I
there.
do. Yep, I
Yeah.
do. Let's see. That one was a fun one. It was literally just I we had so a lot of the guys like Cal and like Squeegee Rich, when you had him on the show,
Hmm.
he had talked about doing like the squeegee challenges and stuff. So right after
Hmm.
that show, I reached out to him and was like, "What's the squeegee challenges about?" And so they told me about it, and then I think I did one or two of them like last in the winter time, and then we've all been trying to make them like monthly. I'm actually probably going to be posting one soon because it's due for July. But
Nice.
anyways, I had been in a dress that day and I was like, I want to do my squeegee challenge because the sunset was really pretty. So I did my squeegee challenge, but I also was like, well, I'm already here, so let me just take this video. And it was silly, but it was funny. And then my daughters, if you I don't know if we'll be able to see, like they're in the background in the
Are
reflection.
they really? I didn't notice
They
that.
are. In my caption, I say that I say to my daughters, who always want
Yeah.
to be involved in my silly adventures. I just said, I hope you don't take yourself too seriously. I hope you find something you're passionate about. I hope you love what you do. You hope you'll always be 100% authentic. I hope I'm doing right by you, and I hope they recognize that someday. It makes me
Nice.
emotional almost because like
Yeah.
they always want to be involved in everything I'm doing, and it's like I hope
Yeah.
that they can do that too. But anyways,
Yeah.
that wasn't the point.
Yeah,
That was
for sure.
supposed to be showing the video. But
There you
they
go.
are you're not going to be able to see it, but they are
No, we see it. We see it. It's good.
like right here in the
Right there.
reflection.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They're just watching me, and it was
Aw.
so cute. And that's why that dorky smile at the end, because I was smiling because they're sitting there just like, and I just like smiled at them like, "Oh, you guys are so cute." I think that's the
Aw.
one side I don't show too much of myself. I feel like I need to make an introduction video someday because
Mhm,
um there's there's me, but then I have a family. I have a husband. We've been
mhm.
married 17 years. I have three children, three daughters. They're 12, 10, and 8. And like I just don't talk about that a whole lot. I don't know.
Yeah,
I keep it kind of not super personal. So
yeah, yeah.
like a lot of people don't know that stuff, but I mean it is a big part of who I am too.
I think you can share stuff without getting too deep into it. I know
Yeah.
I've spoken about my daughter and
Mhm.
her issues and things that we've done, and I've had medical issues with my parents and stuff. But I'm
Mhm.
not going to come out here and just share all kinds of details at it. But I think it is good for the audience to know, and especially your followers, to
Yeah.
you're a real person. You've got a family, you've got responsibilities. Like you said, I mean, you could see how emotionally you got just talking about them. your raising of your daughters very seriously, and that's important for us to know, because pretty much everyone here, who's married, or or even not, they have kids. They know what that's like. Which we'll talk a little bit later about Charles. Charles D. Smith Jr. His daughter. Here she moves out, and she's got her own place for the first time, and then she had flooding. The things that he was going through as a father, wanting to, on one hand, protect his daughter, on the other hand, recognize she's an adult, and you're trying to find that balance. And
Yeah.
it's hard. It's really, really hard, because a friend of mine, a real good friend of ours, when we were going to have our baby, she was talking about to us when my wife was pregnant, where and she says the best way I can explain having a kid is, you now have a little piece of your heart running around outside of you. And
Mhm.
now, anybody who hurts that can hurt your heart. Anyone who can hurt your child hurts your heart. And you
Mhm.
worry about them, and you're thinking about them. And it's true. I mean, that's exactly how it is. When you have little pieces of you running around, and you care
Mhm.
about them so much, and you know how bad the world can be sometimes. You want to train them to be tough, and you want to train them to be smart, and but they're gonna have to learn the hard way. So that's a tough thing for sure.
Yeah.
But now you can tell you're a good mama. You can tell that you now do they have any plans of learning how to clean windows? Do they want to imitate mama that way?
Yeah, kind of. Every time I
Kind
pull
of.
out a
Nice.
squeegee here, they all grab it. Like, can I squeegee the window? And they're actually really good.
Nice.
I should
Yeah.
find while we're sitting here, I'll kind of peek for a video and I'll show you one in a minute. But like, yeah,
Okay.
they are
Very
pretty
cool.
good at it.
Nice.
Surprisingly, because
M-
I feel like it took me way longer than it took any of them, and they're like
yeah.
better at it than I was when I started.
Yeah. Yeah, I my daughter, when she was little, she was really interested in it, and she would come with me, and I'd give her a little
Mhm.
squeegee, and she'd pretend to clean, and I'd get her some candy. I had a business route down at the university, and it
Mhm.
ended on at a little candy store. So
Mm.
that was her payment, was she'd get to fill up a bag of candy. Um,
Mm.
but once she got older, she's now like science stuff better. She likes
Oh, yeah.
looking at microscopes, and she likes just different things like that. She's more artistic. So she's told me
Mhm.
she's not going to be a window cleaner, but I told her, sorry, you're going to have to learn. You're going to learn how to clean windows. You're going to work with me,
You at
and you're
least
going to make some money
have
that
to
way.
know how to do
You have
it.
to know it. Even if you don't decide you want to do it now, at least you have a skill. That's why I tell her, you have a
Mhm.
skill you can fall back on if you need to make money and you can't find a job anywhere. You can clean windows.
Yeah.
And so I said, she's gonna have to learn.
I'll
So
show you. I posted this a long time ago. Actually, it's probably one of my first 10 videos.
let's see. Oh yes, I remember this one.
This is my 8-year-old.
Oh
We got the backflip going. I think it's a
yeah,
backflip
yeah.
or a leggies with
Yeah,
some
it's a
edited
Leggy's handle,
grass.
yeah.
Or maybe
Look at
that's a
that,
stainless steel, I think. She
look at
come
that.
back and got what she missed.
Man, she's pretty good.
I know. I was
Look
not
at
that good
that.
when I started. I wish I had a video of when I started. It was horrible.
Wow.
She was like so proud
Look
of
at
it.
that. That is
I,
awesome, man. Yeah, that's man,
yeah,
I
so they
might
love
hire
doing
her.
that. I know.
Very
She's
cool, very cool.
probably her the most out of any of them. Really loves it when I do it. I have another video. I won't do anything with it, but I cleaned the window, and then I said, okay, I want you to do the explain what I'm doing, and I had her like record over the video the audio of what I was doing.
Wow.
And she says, and then you take the fuzzy wuzzy thing. Gosh, that was adorable. Adorable.
Oh, that's so cute. Well, let's take some time to say hi to people who are in the room here. So we got Charles G. Smith here. We talk about him a little bit and his situation. Squeegee Rich, he's in. Like we mentioned, Cal's in here. Let me see. Thomas Wilson's in. How's it going, Mr. Tom? Squeegee Tom. As we mentioned, Adam Hogan's in. Jake Van Orden checked in. Dan Friss is in. Tyler Blue, as always. I appreciate you, bud. Jason Gulick is in. What's up, Goo? How you doing, man? And see, I think that is it for us. At least has commented. There might be some
Mhm.
watching, not commenting. But anyways, thank you guys all. Oh, I forgot Codrine is in too. I can't
Mhm.
forget Kodreen. He's the man.
I
It
enjoyed
was nice
seeing
spending
him
time with
on,
him.
yeah, I've seen him on some podcasts as well. It was good shows.
Yeah.
Good shows.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a good guy for sure. Okay, so you're working for a friend, and you've been there for 4 years. You said
Yeah.
4 years. And I've asked you this before, and it's probably the same answer, but I'm going to ask you again to make it on the record. Do you have any plans of starting your own company?
I don't, not at all.
You don't.
I
So
I
you like
like
it?
what I do. I like not, so when I see how much goes into it, like, oh, you broke this thing, or even if we don't feel like we did break the thing, I don't know.
Right.
They claiming we broke the thing. Well, who's got to pay for that? Who's got to take I and then who's going to decide to how much to charge for the things, because then you need to make sure that you're not overcharging, but you got to make sure you're not undercutting all your competition, and you got to make sure you're
Mm,
making money, and you got to bill people, and I just feel like that takes the joy out of it for me personally. I get to just be
yeah.
happy to clean windows and not worry about all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah. No, that makes total sense. No, I
Yeah.
totally get that.
I thankfully have,
And
like, my husband works for the local electric company, and he's been the main breadwinner since day one. So
nice.
mine is almost more of a side quest, but it's a side quest that's passionate. I'm passionate about. I love what
Yeah,
I'm doing. Got more
that's
side
awesome.
quests with the videos for the other company. So yeah,
Yeah. No, you're making something of it. And
I am.
I'm trying to think of when we first met. Was it at the Huge or was that the IWCA?
Yeah, the IWCA, because
The
I
Elevate.
didn't go.
Yeah.
I haven't been to the huge at all.
Oh, okay. Okay.
IWCA was my first convention. I first met you because you were on Goo and Deed's podcast, and I was
Okay.
like, I want to chat with you for a minute, and then we had a phone conversation, and
That's
then I
right.
went
That's
to
right.
the
That's what we
IWCA. Yeah,
that's right.
so
We
I
did talk. We
appreciated
talked
that
for a
you
good.
take out the time to have a conversation with me about a lot of
Yeah,
things, a lot of
I
insight on
I
things.
happened to it actually was a good timing. I think I was working in the field that day, so
Mm,
I was able just to work and we had a really nice conversation, talked about a
we
bunch of
did,
stuff.
yeah.
And yeah, that was really good. But
Hmm.
yeah, that's nice. So you're gonna keep working for him. You're gonna work for Detroit Sponge now. You're gonna be
Hmm.
their social media person.
Hmm.
What else do you see you doing in the industry? Are you kind of set there, and then that's where you feel you'll be in 5 years, or do you have other plans that you might want to expand on, or some ideas, even if they might
Yeah,
seem fanciful?
I had an opportunity. A certain company reached out to me to do high rise in Detroit, but I don't have the it doesn't quite fit with my schedule right now with all the stuff that I have to do. I'd love to do that. I don't know if I ever will. I'd love to, though. I have no fear of heights, so that would be so much
Really,
fun. No,
I would
not at all.
never want to do that.
I would
I would,
love to do
I would
that.
never.
That is like my dream to do
I
that,
I
but
I
it's just
remember
not.
my wife. Yeah, my wife telling me, "Gabe, you got to promise me you're not ever gonna go off of a building." And I said, "Honey, I don't even have to promise. It's not in my blood. Sorry, you don't ever have to worry about me going over
Oh,
the side of a
I
building. So
love it.
you can just relax your fears that way."
That's
But
funny.
no, I mean, obviously, especially now that I've been in the industry for a while, especially
Mm.
on the board of the IWCA, you start to see there's obviously safe ways to do it. People wouldn't do it
Mhm.
if it was always dangerous. It's dangerous when you ignore the precautions, you
Yeah.
ignore the safety best practices. Then you have something to worry. But if you're
Mhm.
following, the safety practice, it's really no different than anything else. You are higher, obviously, like you said. If you have a fear of heights, that's gonna come into play. But if you
Mhm.
don't, I mean, it's a ton of people make really good money doing it just because people don't want to do it. So
Yeah.
I get that for sure. Yeah. But anyways, so what are some of your favorite things about the industry that you've learned? Because you've been cleaning windows for 4 years, but I'd say you probably have been kind of knowing people around the country for about a year, right?
Yeah, I'd say
Give or
that.
take.
Maybe not. Yeah, probably about a year, because it was about a year ago that and it started. Oh, I gotta give credit to Goo and Deeds, because it started because their podcast, and I just happened to jump on and watch. And from day one of watching and just throwing a comment in the comment section, like, they responded, and people responded to me, and people started friend requesting, and I'm like, this is interesting. Like, people want to this networking that I never really thought about, and I just realized how cool people were in our industry, and that I think gives even more of a love for the industry when you find like-minded people and then all you want to do is talk about it. So I felt like that at the IWCA. I was like a kid in a candy store. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
But
So,
like, yeah, just
Squeegee
the fact
Tom.
that
Oh,
they were so warm and welcoming from day one, like somebody who nobody had a clue who I was, but I'm sitting here commenting in the section, and they're just like, "Hey, yeah," and responding to your comments, and like I felt included even though nobody had a clue who I was. And it's not always easy to
yeah.
break into something not knowing anybody.
Hmm. Yeah.
So
No,
getting
it's
there
true.
and then to be where I am now, where I do feel like I know a lot of people and I've met a lot of people personally, even, and I hope to keep
Mhm.
taking those opportunities to continue meeting them in person even more so.
Yeah. I feel like the IWCA convention, or, Elevate right now, is as we're doing it with the PWNA,
Mhm.
they are especially built for that connection, for that networking. Obviously, we get it in the groups. Pro Window
Mhm.
Cleans a ton of people. You meet a lot of people there, but there's also a lot of trolls. You got to kind of be filtered in that, and that's in any group, really. Any industry group, right? I mean, talking pressure washing, you're talking masonry, you're talking. I mean, there's always going to be the people who are supportive, the people who are trolls. And
Mhm.
there's going to be people in between. And so, but I feel like the IWC, because it is it's a nonprofit, first of all, so it's meant to help people. And then it's filled with people. You join the IWCA because you want to help people, right? You want to help
Mhm.
your business, you want your business to grow, you want to learn. But once you kind of, like, for me, when I joined it, it was to help my business grow. But after
Mhm.
about 3 years, you just want to be a part of that to help others, and you start to
Yeah.
see the benefit of that and the connections that you make. So, getting to talk with you is great. Squeegee Tom says, Jess and I have had some great chats and spent some time in Orlando talking. She's completely authentic, and that is pretty rare lately. And I just want
Yeah.
to touch on that, because I think that's a really good point, Jess. And this is just something that I noticed, and why I think a lot of us window cleaners are drawn to you, is because you are totally authentic. You don't put on airs. I think
Mhm.
a tendency in our industry is to build ourselves up, maybe more than what we are, in the hope of, like,
Mhm.
fake it till you make it type of thing. And there's ego, and there's pride, and you don't want to look like you're a fool amongst all these other experts, right? and,
Yeah.
and you came in very authentic. Hey, this is who I am. Hey, hope you like me.
Yeah.
And we all did. you,
I'm
you
glad.
weren't afraid to ask questions. You weren't afraid to say ask something that maybe might look like I'm new in the industry.
Mhm.
But now that you've been here a year, I mean, you fit right in,
Mm.
and you connect with a lot of people. So I
Mhm.
think it's that authenticity which we're drawn to, and which makes that's why you're getting a million views, because you're just being you,
Yeah.
you know, and it definitely is coming across. So
I appreciate
awesome.
that. It's something that I've never been good at putting on a show for anybody. All I know how to do is be me. So if I'm me
Yeah.
here and then you meet me and I'm still the same person, then I've accomplished my goal.
Yeah, but that's it. I think a lot of us are uncomfortable being ourselves. A lot of
Mhm.
us are uncomfortable. We feel like we have to put on a persona, or we
Yeah,
have to, in order to be accepted, we have to be, have X, Y, and Z.
I get that.
And I think
Mhm.
if more of us just were ourselves and just say, "Hey, this is who I am. I
Mhm.
have these vulnerabilities, but I'm also really good at these things."
Mhm.
And then we pull our strengths together. Then that's what it comes. Jason Gulick says, "You're rad, Jess. We love you. My heart's full. You were welcome from the jump." So that
Yeah.
was nice
And
of
I
him
just
to
feel like them too,
okay.
like even on their show, were very authentic from the beginning as
Hmm.
well.
That's
Everybody's
exactly
very
right.
like that type of thing where it kind of invites you to be yourself. When you notice
Hmm.
someone being themselves, you feel comfortable being yourself around them, and then I'm being
Yeah.
myself, and then I'm meeting people's real authentic versions of themselves, which is just it's so much more there's so much more joy in those connections because they feel real, they don't feel fake. I don't really know how to
Yeah.
do fake. I don't know how to fake friends. I don't know how to I just don't know how to do it. So I'm
Yeah.
not going to do it because I can't do it. I don't I'm just
Good.
it's not something I'm familiar with. So
Well,
and I know
don't ever
they
do it.
say and then they say, if you put yourself up here, you give yourself more opportunity to fall. But if I approach and I'm here and then you want to put me up here, sure, I'll be up there in your eyes, but I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm not going to fall. I'm safe.
Very cool. Yeah. So, Yeah, and just to kind of go along with what you said, I felt the same way with the Goo Deeds podcast as well. You know,
Mhm.
we kind of both started about the same time. They started before Squeegee U, but
Yeah.
that was kind of what I saw. You know, when they started, it was just them two just talking, and it was. I remember the
Mhm.
first one was right after the huge convention. They had a great, you know, it was just fun, just two guys talking. It was a while before they started taking on guests, but
Mhm.
when I met with them and talked and you know, the more I got to know them, that's what it is. It's just that's what draws people to them. And then they're 3 times a week, so you can wake up early. You can kind of, it's hard for me to, I'll just be straight with you right now. During this time when it's at
Mhm.
5:30, it is hard for me now. The good news is when the time change comes, then it'll be 6:30 for me, and I can
Mhm.
do 6:30. But I usually wake up at 5, but I'm like, I'm in no shape to pay attention to anything at 5:30. I'm just waking up, usually doing stretches. I'm doing some other stuff. But if I can, I will.
Mhm.
I'll tune in. But
It's a different
definitely,
part for me because it's 9:30 here, and so
right.
I'm
You're
usually already
working.
working. So I'm like
Yeah, you're
pulling
working.
pulling my phone out, and then you can't push the off button because then it shuts it off. So you have to just leave it on in your pocket and hope it doesn't cut off. But
Yeah,
it's
for sure.
it's like I'm working, and so sometimes I'm missing it because I'm forgetting what time it is, and or it's eight
Right.
thirty. 30. It's 8:30 to 9:30, but I start work at
Yeah,
8.
yeah.
So
Right. So Jake Van Orden asked, are you going to go to the IWC in February in
I
Texas?
should be. I
Yeah.
might even be at the huge here because
Nice.
oh yeah, I didn't talk about that. So Craig and Grace, they got their what do you call it?
Rolling with the
Nonprofit.
window queen. Uh-huh.
They got there because I'm their third person. So
Oh, nice.
I can go to the huge if I want to, completely like
The
what
huge is fun.
expenses
The huge
paid.
is fun too. Yeah.
So
It is.
I'm thinking about it. It's just as far as there's yeah, I want to see if I can. We might. Like I can like if I want to I'm there. I just have to decide and
Yeah.
figure out whether I'm able to do it. But IWC and 100% I'll be there. I've never
Nice.
been west of Chicago, so Texas is exciting. I'm not well traveled, so I'm excited to see
Oh,
like a different state that I've never even seen before. So
nice.
that'll be
Well,
fun.
Texas is big. Let me just tell you. It's so funny because I've drove across to Louisiana from Arizona, and
Mhm.
Arizona, you get out of Arizona pretty quick. You pass New Mexico real quick, and then it feels like you're in Texas for like 3 days to go across. I mean, it's just so long right there. So that what they say is absolutely true.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Charles D. Smith says he won't be able to make the huge, but he will definitely make the IWC next year. That's really cool, man. I hope to see you again there.
Mhm.
And yeah, unfortunately, I won't be able to make the huge. I made it last year. It was a lot of fun, and I was hoping to go because Orlando is a lot more accessible for me than the Nashville. But man, my parents' health is just not good right now. I can't go too far away right now. So
Yeah, and my thought
I'm
with
I'm really
mine is
bummed.
yeah. I might
Yeah,
be like mine is the week my kids start school, so it's trying to debate whether I'm able to do that or not. So, you know,
yeah,
it's I wish it were
that's it.
like 1 week prior.
Yeah, yeah, that's
1 week prior
last
would be
last
like
year.
no
Same
question.
thing with Nashville last year. If I think
Yeah.
it was like if it was 2 weeks earlier, then my wife and daughter would have been able to come. But that's like right when my daughter starts her school,
Right.
and she's in a special private school, and they're really
Mhm.
tight on absences. So you really got to reserve them for when they're
Yeah.
sick, you know. But anyways, yeah, that's what happens with kids for sure.
It is. You got to
Uh,
prioritize.
yeah, yeah, it's gonna be fun. Yeah, for sure. Now, I just wanted to take just a quick time to talk about Charles D. Smith, his daughter, and that. I think most of us here know, and they follow Charles, and they know the
Mhm.
situation. But like I mentioned earlier, his daughter had just moved into a brand new apartment for her, and it was her first time, you know, being out on her own. Flooding came, like it was like 3 feet of water. Thankfully, they were safe. It was pretty scary there. I think her boyfriend had to actually break a window so they could get out because it was
Wow.
starting to fill up there. And so you've got the fear of possible drowning because you don't know when that water is going to stop. And
Mhm.
then of course now the aftermath of all her things are gone, and some very valuable and precious things were gone. So there is a GoFundMe page. When we're done with the podcast, I'll post it in here. If you haven't yet, if you would consider making a donation in there to help her to get her life back together and help them to recoup some necessary things. Obviously it's you can't replace everything, but they are just very happy that it wasn't anything more serious, that they're all safe. Where there's life, there's hope, as you can say. But if we can help them get back on her feet and kind of get things going again, that would be awesome if anyone can help. So that's just wanted to make sure we put that in there. Charles, we love you, and we're thinking about you and praying for you and for your daughter, and hopefully things will get settled soon. But I know that's one of those things that it's not just the material loss; it's the traumatic stuff that you have to carry now. Something like that happens, it makes you feel vulnerable. It makes you feel nervous. Things that you thought were secure are not. So that takes a little while to get over. So we're praying for their being able to do that. And we know they will. We know they'll overcome it, and they'll get back on their feet. But if we can help with that, let's do it for sure. So Jess, so like I said, you've made some connections. You've talked to different people with different brands. So what are the brands that you like now? You've tried a bunch of. Well, actually, first before you answer that, what's your boss's favorite brands? Because that tells you what you started with. So what does he like, or does he even have any preference?
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, they all use the Ederay, the Contour Pro Plus, and Sorbo channels, and they just all of them use that. But now, so last year, I think it was the end of the season, I purchased them the wide body Mormon handle because I'm like, you guys need to use this for the pole. I promise you're gonna love it so much more if you use it on the pole. And they're like, and then I come back in, what was it? Come back in April and they're pros on them. I'm like, I told you, I told you. So yeah, like my boss and his son both, like I think his son used they had like something going with some dealerships over the winter, and so he just got insanely proficient on pole work this winter. So now most of the videos we post on their Squeaky Clean page are just him on pole work because they get great
No kidding.
views. But my
Yeah,
boss,
people do like they
he's
like them.
great with that tool. I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys are so good with it. I still prefer the Mormon with the Ederay brass. I still prefer the standard
Hmm.
one. Pole work with the Sorbo feels weird to me. Jake's gonna hate me
Hmm.
for that. Jake is always like, you need to get the Sorbo. Sorbo is the best. I don't know. I don't like the wide body on a pole because I don't feel like it gets in the corners as good as the brass does to me. But that's all preference. You know what I mean? I think I like I wish that the Unger and the Mormon for the pole were there are certain things I like about both of them. The Unger I like that it goes 90, like this 90 degrees. So
Yeah.
when you're getting real high, you got it like completely 90 sideways. If you have the Mormon, it only goes like this. So when you get up real high, you can't get it doesn't turn
Yeah.
enough to get up to
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
top. But then again, with the Mormon, you got the angle adjustments. So when
Yes.
you're at a high window, you can put it at like a 25 or possibly I've
Hmm.
used it at a 40 when I'm like right up under a window. It's
Hmm.
awkward, but how can you use the Unger on that? Like that's
Yeah.
awkward. So there's a
That's right.
use for both. I keep both on
Yeah.
my belt. And yeah, like I said, I switch up on my fanning ones all the time. Right now, I have the Sorbo again. We have a ton of Sorbo rubber on the truck, so that's kind of the main reason I'm using Sorbo. I like the Sorbo's handle though. I don't like the
Yeah.
Ederay's articulating handle. I think that was what was messing me up. It's the
Yeah.
one that holds the
I
super channel. They have the Sorbo in there instead.
I I gotta be honest. I think the Contour Plus is the only handle I didn't really like from Eder. I'm an Eder guy through and through when it comes to especially
Yeah.
traditional fanning and pulling. I love all the thing, even the regular brass. I can
Mhm.
fan like really easy with it. The Contour, I don't know. I bought it a while back, maybe like 10 years ago or something like that,
Mhm.
and I really struggle. I did better polling with it, but fanning, I didn't like it. I like my handle to be stiff.
Mhm.
I like to have control when I'm fanning.
Mhm.
Polling, I like the swivel. But even then, half the time I'm just straight pull. I'm not straight pulling. I'm doing sevens down. I can
Mhm.
do sevens faster sometimes than if it's like kind of at an awkward angle.
Mhm.
I'll just do sevens down rather
You
than
you do
worry
that a
about.
lot too.
Yeah, I do. And that's just because that's what I learned. I mean, I
Mhm.
literally did straight pulls slash sevens for maybe 20 years before
Mhm.
I had my first, swivel squeegee. I got a wagtail. That's what I started
Yeah.
on. That was the first one that I knew. And then I got
Wagtail feels
Mormon. I don't, what's that?
the wagtail feels weird. I have it, but I haven't it feels weird.
Yeah. No, well, if you'd use the Mormon handle first, absolutely, it's gonna feel very weird because it's on a different type of swivel, right?
Yeah.
Um, it's a very different, but that's what I learned on. So I'm much better with a wagtail than I am with the Mormon, or
Yeah.
even although I don't like Unger. I just never have, and it's not that it's a bad product at all because I think there's a lot of really cool things about it. The
Mhm.
old Unger 0 degree is the best swivel as far as I'm concerned.
I'm
It's the
trying to
best.
find one. I found a
Yeah, you can't find them anymore. You can find the new ones. You can't find the. It's hard to find the old ones. But
no,
if
I
you have
picked
one,
up
that is
yeah.
gold.
I mean,
Yeah,
Thomas Wilson has one. We all saw it at the IWCA, but I have the 30-degree version of that old handle, and you see it in a lot of my videos. I don't know. That's a great handle. I don't know why they changed it up. Mike at Detroit Sponge said that they had a problem with their injection molding, and then they just like didn't fix it. They just were like, "Well, let's just change it," and they shouldn't have done that. He said
yeah.
that well, Thomas would probably tell us even more about it, but he said they tend to get loose after a while, but that's what the guys liked about them is that when they got loose,
Mm,
they had just the right amount of give on that 0 degree
hmm,
that just worked really well. But I
hmm.
have two 30-degree ones now because I had one that was sitting on our truck because the company's been open since 2002. So there was one just sitting on the
Yeah.
truck, the 30-degree. And then I just recently found another one online and I wasn't sure if it was a 0, but it came in the mail and it was another 30. So I got two 30s. I was
Well, there you
trying to
go.
find the 0. I want to try
Very
it.
cool. Squeegee Rich asked me, do you still work on the tools full time, Gabe, or do you have crews that do most of the work? It really depends on the season. So if we're busy, I'm pretty. It's counterintuitive. When we're busy, I'm in the office because I let my guys do all the work. If we're slow, I'm in the field because I'm salary. So if we're slow, we're trying to keep the payroll as small as possible. So I'm working in the field more so that the payroll's low, and because I'm basically like free labor. I get paid the same regardless if I'm working in the field or not. So by working in the field, that's someone I don't have to pay for payroll. So we shrink down crew wise, and then we just kind of hunker down and we endure the slow season until we get busy again. Although I got to tell you, we had our monsoon storm start, and so we immediately got slow, just like boom. It's like the door shuts, and then no one wants windows.
Hmm.
And then we haven't had rains for a while, and this week our phone has been ringing. So this week we're booked solid. We're almost booked solid for next week. So I don't know. I don't know what that is. If that's just a temporary thing, or it's a sign that maybe we will actually have a busy summer. I'm hoping it's the latter. But yeah, so that's when we have a lot of work, I'm pretty much in the office running things, and I still work about 1 or 2 days a week. I will get in the field at least once. I like to do that because I still really love cleaning windows. I really do. I love teaching it, but I love doing the work. And you gotta stay kind of sharp, anyways, if you're
Think
going to
we
be
can
teaching
tell.
people how to clean windows. Yeah,
We can tell you love it.
I do. But yeah. So when we're slow now, I'm working with I have my own route, and I'm just trying to, like I said, just trying to keep the payroll low as much as possible.
Is this your slow
So
season? I know it's
yeah,
different from Arizona, so this is your slow
it
season?
is. Yeah. So
Interesting.
once they announce the monsoon season has started, the phones like just shut off. Yeah.
Oh, how
So
long does it
yeah, we
last?
until they say it's done. Typically it's mid September to October, early
Oh,
October.
like
Um
literally our opposite.
yeah, no, and a lot of Arizona
Crazy.
window cleaners will travel up north and
Oh,
work during this season. So they'll just basically call their customers and say, "Hey, we're shut down for the summer." If they know somebody up there, they'll just go hang out with them, and sometimes they'll crash on their couch, or they'll rent their own thing. and go work for the summer. I know a ton of people. One of the areas that we just branched into, and I've talked about, was a little area. It's about 4 hours from Tucson, and we're cleaning windows there. So we have a technician there once a week, and it's because there's work. There's work there.
Yeah.
So yeah, they go up, stay a week, and my turn's going to be next week, so I'll be up there next week.
Cool.
And yeah, yeah, you just make do. It's just like anything. Like when things shut down in the north and there's snow, you get people
Mhm.
who do lights. They do what do they call it, the road, the snow shoveling. The
Mhm.
with the what is that called? I'm a
Snow
desert
plow.
rat. I don't know what that called.
The
Snow
snow
plowing.
plow.
Yeah, they do snow plowing.
I have a friend
Yeah,
of ours who has a company in northern Michigan. I think they're in Petoskey, and they do like ice dam removal and stuff where because like people's roofs will have like this giant amount of like snow and they'll like pull the snow off roofs and they do snow removal. They get a lot more snow on the western side of the state than we do over here on the east
yeah,
side, just lake effect and stuff. So yeah, people keep busy.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's always something to do. I think I recorded something this morning. I went on a run this morning, and I'll post it maybe tomorrow or the next day. But you have to ask. You have to ask for the work. And I know I went years where I never called my customers. Like, I cleaned for them. My loyal customers would call me, but if someone didn't call me, I would never call them.
Mhm.
Um, and I started adding services, and my longtime customers didn't know I did other services. So I learned you have to ask for the work. So if you have empty spots in your calendar, you have to ask yourself, have I contacted my customers and informed them of the other things that I do? Like, we do high dusting, we do solar panel cleaning, gutter cleaning. Right now, that's the big thing that we push, is gutter cleaning to get ready for the upcoming monsoon rains. We do pressure washing. I mean, I've done tree trimming for some of my customers. It's not really something that we do, but I worked for an arborist years ago, so I have all
Mhm.
the tools, and I've got the basic know-how. I'm not going to pretend I'm a professional or anything like that, but I can trim a tree, make it look really nice.
Mhm.
So you just have to kind of be creative and go get the work and go ask for it. The other thing I think that people need to do is to ask their customers, do you know anyone else who could use my services? Do you have family or friends who could use my services?
That's a good
And
idea.
yeah, it's a simple question, and when you ask 50 people, you're going to get one or two jobs out of that. you know
Mhm.
you're gonna, or even more. So it's just ask for the work. Go out. I mean, like, I literally make cold calls. I still do that. It's not really cold, there are customers, but
Mhm.
when we're slow, I say, okay, I'm going to be in office for this day, and I am on the phone, and I am calling my customers. Hey, just want to check in. Hope you're doing good. I see we haven't had you clean your windows cleaning over a year. We'd love to, fix that. We have a special right now. If you want, we'll give like 10% off or something. Um,
Mhm.
so but again, just ask for it. Don't so many times I hear people and they feel powerless. They're like, man, the phone's not ringing. I don't have any work. I don't know what to do. And they're just kind of there, and they're depressed because they're like, man, they feel powerless. But you don't have to go door to door knocking if that's not what you do. I know some people do
Yeah.
really well with that. Just call
Mhm.
your customers, call and let them know what you do. And then if you have time on the schedule, go to networking events. Go meet people, go shake hands, impress them, schmooze them, let them know what you do, and ask for the work. That's the
I
biggest
saw you
advice I
went
could give
to
when you're
like a
slow.
local you went to like a local home show and were
Hmm.
showing there. That was nice. I'm sure there's
Yeah.
probably things like that around anybody's area. I've seen them around here, so
Every
taking advantage of
Yeah,
that and being seen out there for sure.
yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, there's networking everywhere.
Mhm.
There's business networking that you can do. You just have to look for it. And Facebook is a great way to find those networking events.
It
If you
is.
just type networking, your city, you'll find the event. So just yeah, I just my job is to not mess around. If I'm at home twiddling my thumbs, I have not done my job as an owner. I should be
Mhm.
either out networking, making phone calls, doing something to try and drum up business. And I mean, this year is man, this year has been tough. This has been probably the worst quarter. I had the first and second quarter in a long time.
Mm.
But the reason why we're going is because I'm literally calling us. I'm calling the business up. I mean, I'm just making phone calls, talking to people, going to networking, and it takes a lot of time. But that's how you get the work, you know. And
Yeah.
then when the busy season comes, now your business is primed and you're ready to go and go all on all cylinders, you know. But
And
you
then
don't
you
have to
just
worry about
said
this,
all
Jessica.
of those things, and I'm like
Yeah,
listing my reasons why I'm not doing
that's
it.
it. That's what I said.
I'm like, yep, I don't know, no, I'm happy. I'm good.
It,
I
yeah,
do feel like if
Squeegee.
I ever needed to do something like that, I mean, I don't see me ever needing to do something like that, but I'm sure I could figure out if I ever had to do something like that. But I think that where I'm at, we all benefit each other a lot. They
Hmm.
keep me working. Hopefully, maybe we may even be able to get some commercial stuff going for the winter, or we'll see. But either way,
Yeah,
I love working with my friends anyway. Most days
yeah,
we have two crews, by the way. We also do pressure washing, so the boss and the one guy usually do the pressure washing, and me and the two kids are working. Kids, I mean, they're
nice.
16 and 18, but
Yeah, yeah,
um most of the time they're mature. Sometimes I realize they're kids,
yeah.
but they're great. They're great. They know their stuff. Absolutely, they know their stuff. And his son says we are actually the A crew. So if my boss
Yeah,
sees that, hopefully he knows that we are the A crew. He's not the A
yeah.
crew anymore.
And I want to stress it's a locality. You know, I don't want this to sound like this is everywhere in the United States
Mhm.
because like right now the Northerners are just killing it, right? I mean, they
Yeah,
are
yeah,
just
it's super
full
busy up
going,
here.
full speed. Yeah, yeah. And also different areas. So like there's some areas where there's literally, there's maybe 500,000 people and there's like four window cleaning companies. So
That's
there's a
kind of how
ton
it
of
is
work
for
to go.
me.
Yeah, Tucson, a million people, including all the surrounding suburbs. We've got over 800 people cleaning windows. Some are official
That's
companies. Some are just, guys who just bought a license and don't really advertise. But
that's tough.
that's how many are in Tucson. So as you can imagine, that's why the phone calls are so important because there are
Yeah,
a ton of other people trying to
ready to
get
come
their
up
business.
under and take them from you.
That's right. So we have to let our customers know, hey, you are important to us. Please, please, don't think about going to this other place because we're going to take care of it. We've taken care of you all these years. We're going to continue taking care of these other companies. They'll probably be gone, next year, but
Yeah,
we're going
we
to
have
be
the
here.
you have the longevity. It's kind of
The
like that for us
longevity.
too. We've been in the
Yeah,
thumb area for all these
yeah,
years, and we're trying to break through to these other areas like the Frankenmuth,
yeah,
Saginaw's, and whatever. But we're coming into the areas that have a lot more cleaners.
yes,
Whereas where we are, we have our customer base, we have our word of mouth, especially
yeah,
like we
for
have our
sure.
long-standing longevity there. So it's not as easy to break into the areas where you're coming in where a lot of
Yeah,
others are. So we gotta probably forever be in our area just because
yeah,
it brings in the most business.
yeah, for sure. And I say that because Cal says that he goes, or is that?
I saw that
Oh,
too.
he said we don't have we don't have those problems in the UK. We've been nonstop on the glass since '99, and there are areas in our country that are like Peter Cruz,
Hmm.
his company. They go all year round, and they have the monsoon storms like we do. It doesn't
Hmm.
stop them because they're the best company in that area, and they're in Las Cruces, and they're expanding to. They go to like even El Paso. They got areas, but they have maybe 10 other window cleaners that they compete
Hmm.
against, and they're the best because they have the equipment and the experience, and so yeah, they're slammed all the time. I feel like I'm the best. But there are some really good customer companies in our area that, either they're smaller or there's some that are bigger that are just run well. There's a company, Tyler Blue, who's in here. He's in our area. He's mostly Northwest Tucson. He's a single owner operator, but he does an awesome job. I mean, every time I'm in the groups and someone comments, hey, who does solar panel cleaning? His name always comes up. So he's making a name for himself. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of glass to go around, but
Hmm.
in the last few years, there's definitely been a ton of people who have just kind of popped in. Some of them don't stay. Some of them are in for a few months and then they don't like the work that it takes to run a business and they leave. But it does make it hard, especially when the economy dips or the gas prices go up. That's usually when we see our our jobs go down. People are trying to
Like
save
people
some
who
money.
haven't built their business to support year round without year round work.
Yeah,
Because like some
yeah,
once you're big enough, you can shut down for a part of this, but still be
yeah,
operational. Where the single guy may find that harder to do because he's relying on that to feed his family. But I
yeah.
was gonna
I mean,
note
I'm
just like
realizing.
the UK, like they do stuff on like 6 week intervals. So that's kind of why they're just like nonstop. It's such a
Mhm.
different thing here
Yeah,
in the US. We're like twice, 3 times a year at most.
yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah, for sure. Well, we're overtime here, but I knew it was going to be fun talk with you, Jessica. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for everything you do. I'm so excited for your new prospect here working for Detroit Sponge. I'm definitely going to be looking at the videos more closely, knowing that you're the one putting them together. So it's going to be
I kind
awesome.
of wondered if anybody had figured it out yet because it's my same squeegee in my same hand. But you see me so little in my videos, so then like you also might
Yeah.
not see me in that either because you never see me. I don't show my face much, so just for these things.
Yeah, for sure. Anyways, thank you for joining us. Again, you're just someone who I feel is very genuine, and that's why you're doing well. So please keep being genuine. I know you will, but just that's what we love about you, and look forward to seeing you. We'll definitely have you on again. I know you'll probably be on Goo Indeeds as well again because you fit in well
Yeah,
there.
at some point,
But
sure.
yeah, and thank you guys for everyone who's participated in watching. It was a really good show today, and thank you for your comments. You guys are all awesome. And also, please don't forget, if you are able to, please to make a donation to the GoFundMe for Charles D. Smith Jr.'s daughter, so we can help them out. But you guys take care. We will see you next Tuesday, as always. And until then, just keep hanging loose and keep slinging that squeegee. Talk to you guys later.